Now, because you face ugly situations, will you also become ugly? Or you will use this as manure to blossom into a wonderful flower? This is a choice that you have. So everything that hurts us, everything that in some way is negative to… in a given situation, whether you will become wise or you will become wounded is
It's
your
your choice,
choice.
right?
Do not look for ideal situations because there is no such place. There
Yes,
is
sir.
no such place. Wherever you go, there will be something happening that you think is negative. Whether it's negative or
Right.
not, I don't want to make a judgment.
Yes, sir.
But in a given place, you think there is negative. A whole lot of people who have applied to get into your institution like ISB, they are all thinking if I enter ISB, it is like heaven. But I'm sure there are many people in your institution who think this is the most horrible place,
Ever.
full of politics, full of nonsense, full of this. Aren't there such people? Hello? I'm sure they are there. You don't become one of them. Because in every place there are issues, all right?
Yes, sir.
Where there are two people, there is an issue. How we conduct these issues depends on, are we in a state of conscious response to these issues or are we in some compulsive reaction
To
to
the
these
issue,
issues?
right.
This determines how we conduct
What
ourselves.
he's saying is, are we behind the curve or we in front of the curve?
This has become a syndrome all over the world because they've all read a little bit of Freud, little bit of Maslow, little bit of all this European psychiatric stuff. And everybody is a psychiatrist. Because my parents were like this, I am like this. Come on, huh? Where is your intelligence? If your parents were like this, you must take a vow, you will never ever be like that. Hello? Yes or no?
Right.
If your parents lived so badly, if it is true, I don't even know whether they lived badly or not. This is her perception of it, all right? We do not know how they lived.
right.
But going by her words, assuming it is true, if they lived badly, is it not your business to
That you
see
never-
ever you commit such mistakes as they're committing in their lives? Is this not what human intelligence
They're
capable of?
Right.
Or human intelligence is like, they study rats and make all kinds of conclusions about human beings today. Whole lot of experiments about human beings are on rodents. If you're looking at the behavior of the rodents, people say, oh, human beings like this, like this. Is it not a sad story? Being the most evolved creature
And
on
you've
this planet.
compared to the rodent.
I want you to understand, for you to come to this level
Yes,
of
sir.
intelligence, it's taken millions of years of work, of evolution, to get you here, to the peak
Yes,
of
sir.
evolution on this planet.
Sir.
So being the peak of evolution, are we displaying that we are the top of the world? Are we? No, we want to sit on somebody else's head and think top of the world. No, we are already top of the
Yes,
world
sir.
as human beings, isn't
Thank
it so?
you so much.
But look at the way we are behaving, all the time complaining about something or the other. Let us understand this. What the world throws at us is not necessarily your choice. But what you make out of it is entirely your choice.
Yes, sir.
Yes? What you make out of it is entirely your choice. Your experience of life, this much you must come to every one of you young people.
Yes,
If you want your potential to open up in the world, one important thing that you must fix in your life is your experience of life, either peacefulness or agitation, either joy or misery, blissfulness or suffering, whatever it is, your experience is entirely made by you. Other people are doing what they want, their drama they're conducting. It is your reaction to that which is causing these experiences to you. Right now, if I abuse you, I won't, I'm just telling you, Mrudu. Suppose I abuse you, the abuse is in my mouth. It is not a bullet, it doesn't come and hit you, but it's your reaction which causes the suffering, isn't it? Suppose I abuse you nicely in Tamil language or Telugu or Kannada, this guy will understand that's a problem. But if I abuse you in a language that you don't understand,
never
with
know.
a smile on my face, you will think I'm saying sweet things to you, isn't it? And you'll respond nicely to me. So I'm telling you, your experience of what is happening with you right now is 100% determined by you. Human experience happens from within, not from outside. Outside influences are there. How far we allow them to affect us, unless they're physical situations. You're in a war zone, somebody is shooting at you, that's a different matter, all right? That needs to be dealt with in a different way. Even there, a conscious response will give you better chance of survival than wild reactions.
Right.
So, the privilege of being human being is this, that we have an intelligence to determine what should be our experience of life. Other creatures are in a natural, instinctive, compulsive reaction. We are supposed to be above that. But most human beings are trying to disprove this, and they are also…
They try to disprove it. All right, let's get one more. Let's get another one. Oh, this only four seconds. Hold on, 4 minutes. And I like this video.
Over-the-shoulder trick shots are hard. Saving money on car insurance shouldn't be. 830.
Good morning, Hank. It's Tuesday. Recently, I went to the hand doctor because my
Listen
hand
to this.
isn't
Hey,
working totally
listen
perfect.
to this. This is funny. This is so funny.
And he was like, "Hey, do you remember when we talked about you not signing your name so much, and then you signed 250,000 copies of your book, The Anthropocene Reviewed?" And I was like, "Yeah, but that was for work, doc." And the
Watch
doctor
how
was
many
like,
itises he got.
Was it for work? And I was like, "Look, doc, the heart wants what it wants." Anyway, long story short, I have a few problems, but one of them is arthritis, which is terrible news, but does have a silver lining, which is that I get to add to my catalog of itises. I'm a heavily itised person. Like, over the years, I have or have had orbital cellulitis and eosinophilic esophagitis and viral meningitis, not to mention the normal itises, sinusitis, gastritis, etc. But in this respect, I am, of course, not unique. In our lives, most of us…
Hey, that's why I saved this video for that one reason. Yeah, I know, right? That's my guy, though. Hey, he be teaching facts, though.
will become
Him and his brother.
extensively familiar with itises, because we have been invited to a very strange party where you get to have a consciousness,
And it's made out of meat.
but it's made out of meat. Sometimes people ask me why I write so much about illness and…
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be back in here today, per usual. Today is Healthy Mental Thursday, and of course, we're talking about your mental. And today's topic, we just talking about finding the cure. Again, I think we talked about disease at one point, and now we finding the cure. All right, here we go. Let me get y'all some motivation. First, let me fix this box. Then let me get y'all some motivation. And then we'll get on to the topic for the Disney. All right, let me turn the PlayStation off real quick, too. I don't want it to be on. I don't want a software update. I just want it to go off. No. Whatever. I don't even know what that just said, but anyway, let's get your motivation. Get y'all some motivation in there. Let us go. Motivation for your mental health. Let's go. Not 10 minutes, not 11 minutes. 7 minutes is fine. Let's go.
It's a strange time we're living in right now, where people from the countries that have the most feel like they have the least. People that live in countries that have the most reason to be happy.
Let me run it back.
Seem to…
The scene ain't was set up. Go ahead.
It's a strange time we're living in right now, where people from the countries that have the most feel like they have the least. People that live in countries that have the most reason to be happy seem to have the least amount of happiness. Why is this? Is it comparison? Comparing ourselves to everyone who has more in this social media world we live in? Never feeling enough because another will always be better in some area. Comparison is the thief of joy. Never compare yourself to others. It doesn't matter how great you are. If you are not grateful for who you are and what you have, you'll never be happy. There's always going to be someone who has more money than you. There will always be someone doing better than you, someone fitter than you, better looking than you. If you are always comparing yourself, you'll always lose. One thing other people will never have over you, they are not you. Your
Yes, sir.
greatest asset is that you are unique. And when you are free to be exactly as you are, that's the greatest way to live. The less you care, the happier you'll be. Unhappiness and depression comes when you focus on what you don't have. Instead,
Yes, sir.
if we
Hey, appreciate the follow, Aiden.
and focus
Get this motivation
on where
in here
we
for
do
the day.
want to be,
Why?
we can feel better almost instantly. Appreciation and gratitude is the single most powerful way out of depression or any low states. You cannot feel both deep gratitude and negativity at the same time. If you can, you're not feeling the gratitude. You might be saying you're grateful, but you couldn't be feeling it, because science shows that gratitude and depression do not go together. Another important principle that helps many who suffer with depression and anxieties is this.
Hey, feel
They
free to
are
share the
almost
live
certainly,
for
in
anybody you
every
know
case,
might need to hear
not
this.
depressed or suffering with anxiety 100% of the time. They have selective depression, selective anxiety. There are moments, even if they are brief, of laughter, of feeling hopeful about the future, brief moments of happiness, of connection with others, brief
Hey,
moments
appreciate
of
that,
love
Aiden. Appreciate
and
you,
feeling
my boy.
good.
Yes,
It's certainly
sir.
not a conscious selection, rather something that comes about with triggers and from a lifetime of conditioned thoughts. I can only be happy if X, Y, and Z occurs in my life. Having rules like I can only be happy if will always ensure unhappiness, because life always throws challenges and obstacles your way. Keeping this in mind, you then can understand on an intellectual level that depression and anxiety does not have to be permanent. You can figure out why you feel down by learning about how your brain works, how your mind works, and you can direct it to something that feels much better
Yes,
long
sir.
term.
Yes, sir.
Comparison is another big issue, especially these days with the increase in social media and the amazing revelation of filters. Filters that make you look like a supermodel in one swipe, but also the filters many apply to their lives, like exaggerating everything in their life to make themselves look bigger and better, and leaving out all the negative things that are really causing them pain. The happiest people on earth do not compare themselves to others, ever. They run their own race, and they are happy for all others to run theirs in their own time and their own way. Happy people don't have the best of everything. They make the best of everything.
Yes, sir.
Things will never work out as planned. This is life, not a movie. How you respond to how things work out will determine the quality of your life. Let me ask you this. Do you believe there has ever in the history of this world lived a human that was depressed beyond measure in a world of suffering, but still somehow managed to turn it around and create a life not only amazing to him, but envied by others? Of course there has. The truth is, the pain you feel when you are depressed is coming from your thoughts about your current life situation or situations. Not the events, but your thoughts about the events. Change your thoughts and you change your life. Use the pain for a greater benefit. The key principle in overcoming unhappiness of depression is not to focus on the depression. That's what most people do, and the reason it never goes away. Instead, you should focus on where you want to be. Focus on the feelings you want to feel. Focus on the person you want to become and work towards doing the things that you must do to become that person. Feel how you would feel if everything in your life fell into place. One of the fastest ways out of depression is to create a compelling future, a greater purpose for your life. If you are genuinely excited for your future, you can't be miserable now.
Right.
And you can let go of anything that is in the past. The thing that keeps one going is having a sense of future. The thing that tears us down is not having one. Set meaningful goals that get you working towards something that excites you.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
be attached to outcomes or gaining of material things, but get excited about who you will become, how you will develop, and who you will be able to help as a result of you creating this amazing life for yourself. Who will benefit from you living a happier life? Who will benefit from you being the example for others?
Let's go. My main, if you are currently, my main takeaway from that is be you, and it's real peace in that. And when you feeling any feeling that you feeling, it's unique. It has your signature. You may not even want it, but it's yours. And that's kind of like how I feel about all of that. It actually made me feel good to say. All right, let's go. We finding the cure. Finding the cure. Now, cure for what? What is a cure? Mental health, of course, obviously. But we can't do TED Ed. Let's do some. Let's do the filter on here this time. See what the filter give us. All right. Diabetes be cured. Here's how. The Sugar MD. All right. Could llamas help cure COVID-19? A cure for efficiency and readiness. Oh, this one gonna be good.
Is there a cure for racism? And I know it's not that simple, but is there a cure?
I love the question, right? And my answer to you would be yes. It is a process, and it's not enough to march and get a victory. We have to transform the systems of inequity in this country. Racism is essentially a belief system. There is a methodology that's grounded in psychological research and social science for altering our beliefs and subsequently altering our behaviors that are driven by those beliefs.
Okay, so the cure is to change your thoughts. All right, look, check this out. How to change my thoughts. So that's the cure for any mental disorder that you're going through right now. Just change your thoughts about it. And we know, listen, I gotta stop for a second. Hold on. Let me flip to my other scene so I can say this. Up front. I mean, up close and personal. Listen, we know that when you're trying to change your thoughts about something, it's like going to the gym and pumping 250 pounds on your chest, reps over and over, and you can't even lift nothing. Tell me when you get into like a situation, I'll give you an example, like maybe you behind on your bills. It's not a change your thoughts thing. It's like all I can think about is my bills. So changing my thoughts becomes like 245s on each side under that bench press. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to be happy. Even the kids will come to you and talk to you about things. Kids will be like, hey dad, I got a great score on my test today. And if you think about them bills, you cannot change that thought. You like, oh my gosh, I love you, son, but so that's the cure, and it's hard. And we know that when you get in the cure, like your body, all right, think about it like this. Your body could be sick right now, and the cure for it is a fever. And every second of that fever is like, we gotta do what? No, you ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? So the cure, I think that just gave us a direct pointer as to where we can look for our potential fixes in life. I didn't want to use the word fix, but our potential like fixes or cures in life. It comes maybe in those moments where we're in discomfort. Maybe anxiety is showing us or making us uncomfortable to prepare us for whatever it is we're going into. I'm just trying to break it down for myself. They keep posting stuff talk about they keep saying yapping, spitballing, all of this stuff, and it's all, this is a tangent. It's all meant to just make you feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I done been living here long enough. Even a little kid who's been living here long enough can tell you they know a little bit about something to speak on it. Now, we all got to piece it together, but I'm figuring it out, and I do know stuff. So you don't have to take my word for everything that I'm telling you, but go try it for yourself. All right. How to change my thoughts. All right. Let's just go. Let's just start there. Ooh, we got 7 minutes, Dr.
This
Tracy.
is Pod 5, the first fully immersive
Dr. Tracy
sleep
in the
system.
building. You know what I'm saying?
Intelligent.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a
see what you
psychiatrist,
got.
and I make videos on mental health education and self-improvement. In a previous video, I talked about how to recognize your self-defeating thoughts, and I explained them. I have that video linked in the corner and in the description. Today I'm going to show you how to challenge these cognitive distortions, and this involves using a thought record. I have a free worksheet that you can download to use for this. The link to this is in the description, but if you're a part of my email community, you'll already have this in your email inbox when this video published. From time to time, I'll give you handouts and worksheets that go along with the video. And if you don't want to have to go to my website every time, then get on my email list, and then you'll get them automatically. And that link is also in the description. Challenging your thoughts is called cognitive restructuring, and it's a technique used in cognitive behavior
Cognitive
therapy.
restructuring.
You can do this on your own, but of course it works better when you have a therapist guiding you and helping you work
I can
through
see that.
it.
Now I can see that. I can definitely see that.
You do this in 2 stages. The first stage is to recognize the thought and record it, and the second is to challenge the thought. So how do you recognize an automatic thought? Start with when you first noticed feeling low or some other negative emotion like anger. Take a minute to ask yourself what was going through my mind just then. Then pull out your thought record and write down the situation, the emotions, and the body sensations you experienced, and the actual thoughts you had. Another way to recognize this is when you notice a shift in your emotions. So not only just a negative emotion, but when there's a change. And the shift is a sign that you may have interpreted something based on a distorted thought. Here's how you do it. For the situation, you want to put the date and time. Then you want to think about who you were with, what you were doing, and where you were. Jot down what was happening just before you noticed the shift in your emotions. Now, you may not have time to write an essay, but
Right.
being able to capture just
Anything.
even a few details can help you fill this out more later. Then next, you want to describe your emotions and your body sensations. What did you actually feel? You can usually write an emotion in one word, like angry, humiliated, empty. Do you have trouble recognizing your emotions? That's a separate issue, but no worries. A while back, I created some emotions cards to help you identify emotions more specifically, and I'll include those cards as part of the download if you didn't get them already. Now you want
Look
to
at
rate
Dr.
the
Tracy got them
strength of
resources.
the emotion from 0 to 100%. And this number is your own estimation, so just so that you have a way to quantify your feelings. The last thing you want to do is record what you felt. Did you feel a lump in your throat, head pain, butterflies in your stomach? Then you want to record your thoughts or images that went through your mind just before you had the change in what you were feeling. And some questions that you can ask yourself to get at this are things like, what were you saying to yourself? How did that situation affect your present or your future? Was it threatening to you in some way? Once you record your thought, rate how much you believe it on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 means that you don't really believe it at all, and even though the thought popped into your mind, and 100 would be that you completely believe it.
Now that
Now,
part of
this
this,
is a lot of information to take down, and it
Hold
takes
on.
practice
that part of this
to be able
is really, that part of this could really do some be effective. Really just sitting there and rating how effective. Like, let's say a thought pop into your head that's like, nah, you can't do that. And then you instantly you sit on the spot and you rate how much you believe that thought. You know, it'll give you, like, let's say I'd be like, all right, I'm thinking I want to go do a backflip. And then I'd be like, nah, you can't do no backflip. I could sit and rate that thought and be like, how much do I believe that? Well, I used to be able to backflip. Do I want to do a backflip? No, and that's probably the biggest factor on why the thought is floating in that I can't do it. But I could if I wanted to, because I know I can. So that would be effective
to observe
to me.
yourself like this. It's not realistic that you can get down every thought, and you don't want to even try for that. But the more you do it, the more automatic it can become. Also, since you're trying to catch the thought as they happen, you may not be able to write all of this down at first, but you can still jot down a few basic facts, then fill in the rest later. Then on to stage 2, challenging your thoughts. And there's a few ways that you can do this. The one that I'm going to talk about in this video is putting your emotions on trial. With this approach, you take one of the thoughts from your thought record and run it through a trial. The defense will argue that the thought is true, and the prosecution argues that the thought is false.
I feel that we all need a mental health. Hold on. Let me turn my mic back up. I feel that we all need a mental health person because of all the changes we go through in life. Some things may not knock us out of whack, but then we can get some things. I should have had this on my phone. We can get some things that may be tough, and it takes time, or I'm not sure what to get back on your game, right? We need many different things to help our mental stay healthy. I want to talk about that just for 2 seconds since you typed that in here, Zanita67. I was thinking about you too. You know, I want to support my loyal people who come back every day, every week. What about the people, like, let's say we have a group of people who are comedians, right? Who are making the comedians laugh, all right? Then we have a group of people who are doctors, who are healing the doctors. Then we have a group of people who are therapists, who is giving therapy to the therapist. And what I'm here to say is that if we create these classes of people, right, and we only stay within our groups, then there's going to be a shortage on the outside. Like, there'll be a bunch of people that are laughing, but then there'll be a shortage of people who are, like, making people laugh. And then there'll be people, everybody will be healed. But there'll be a shortage of people who are doing the healing. And then with the therapist, there'll be a shortage of people who are giving the therapy. And so in turn, the people who are actually giving the therapy don't receive therapy. They can laugh and they can be healed, but they cannot receive therapy. The healers, the doctors, they can laugh and they can get therapy, but they cannot receive healing. And so on and so forth, because it's simply just not enough people to heal them and to give them therapy. So I say that we should all theoretically, and if we go back into ancient times, it probably was like this, or somehow, some way we building back to it. We should all theoretically have all of the skills. The cook should be able to tend to wounds and be able to heal as well as cook, and the doctor should be able to heal wounds as well as cook, and so on and so forth, just to make sure that everybody's tended to and everyone eats. Just to talk on what you said, Anita67. Thanks for always being a participant. All right.
You will argue for both the defense and the prosecution, and then you'll act as the judge to make the final decision. For this exercise, you use this worksheet. Start with the negative thought you had. If it's a question like, why am I such a failure? Turn it into a statement. I'm a failure. If it's an image in your head, like the image of you losing your job, turn that image into a thought by answering the question, what does that image say about me? Maybe it says that your boss has it out for you. Then that becomes the thought for you to challenge. Then for the defense argument, write down the evidence that the thought is true. And you don't censor this. Just write down everything that you can think of that proves that what you think is true. Next, you write down evidence that the thought is false. And you want to think about reasons why what you think may not apply 100% of the time. And to figure this out, you can ask yourself these questions. Are there things about the situation that you didn't consider that affect how you think about it? What would you say to a friend who told you that they thought this? Has there ever been a time where this wasn't true? If so,
Now that part will get you every time. Listen.
How you think about it. What would you say to a friend who told you that they thought this?
What would you say to a friend who told you that they thought this? This, ever since I've been doing this show and actually bringing some of these gems and some of these talking points out into, I don't want to say the public, out into the public and actually talking about it, even with just the people who I talk with on the show or even thinking about it myself, I've grown closer to myself. I've learned to respect myself. I've learned to allow myself a little bit of room. I've learned to not be so hard on myself. I learned to take myself seriously, if I didn't say that already. Because what would I say to my friend if they like, yo, I'm just so stupid? I'd be like, no, you're not. You are not stupid. We gonna change that. But then when I sit inside myself and say to myself, hold on, oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. It's just silence. There's no bounce back of myself saying, no, you not. You are the best man in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that right there hit home. What would you say to a friend if they thought that same thought that you are thinking about yourself?
Has there ever been a time where this wasn't true? If so, what made it untrue? Next, you present your case to the jury. It works best if you read it aloud. Things just sound differently when they're said aloud than they do when it's just in your head. So first you read the defense argument, then you read the prosecution's argument. Now you reach a verdict. You can say, given all the evidence, here's the fairest way to sum up the situation. You're looking for a way to balance both sides. Is the evidence clear and convincing for one side over the other? How would you rewrite the thought that allows you to take other possibilities into consideration? Now reflect on your new thought. How is it different from the original thought? Can you recognize what kind of automatic thought you had? Recognizing what kind of automatic thought you had is another approach to restructuring your thoughts. You don't have to label your thoughts for this exercise of running your thoughts through a jury, but if you're able to recognize what kind of cognitive distortion it is, it can help you be more aware of how you think so you can break the pattern of responding automatically. I discussed several cognitive distortions in this first video, and you get this beautiful graphic of the distortions in the back of my 2020 calendar. If you don't already have one, grab a copy on Amazon. It's a great resource, chock full of self-help tips for each week of the year. See you next time.
Hey. Hold on, y'all. Let me flip back over. I do want to summarize that video, but I don't. I just want to keep on rolling forward. Only because, you know, we get low on time, and I want to squeeze a little bit more of this in there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, the psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos.
Let's see if they got something on here.
Today, I'm talking about avoidant personality disorder.
Let's see if they got something to cure anxiety. Nah. All right. Let's see, Dr.
Let me show you a
Mandel.
super fast anti-anxiety point. When you feel stressed out, when you feel all hyped up, try this little simple technique. So put your fingers together like this and put your thumbs facing each other. Now, just put your hands at an angle like this and come in like this. However you're going to come in, whichever side your thumb is on top, push it down. That's the point right there. You'll feel a nice little groove in there. So when you get that groove, just stimulate that area for about 10 seconds. Push in there, release it. Push again, do that a few times. You'll start to feel changes behind your nasal region. You'll start to feel this parasympathetic response where your body's just going to wind down and relax you.
Word up.
Try it. Your body will love you. Let me show you a super fast
I tried it and I do.
anxiety point. When you feel stressed out, when you feel all
I'm going with that
try
from now on.
Watch as this professor explains life's most important lesson.
Let's see
The
what's
ending is truly eye-opening.
Okay, boys, turn around. And John, what color is the ball?
The ball's white. Seriously? Bro, do you just like making things difficult?
Well, what color do you say the ball is?
Black. The ball is black, clearly. I don't know what you see around, but the ball is white.
Without looking at the ball, I want you to both switch places. Okay, both of you, please turn around. And what color is the ball now? Okay, please have a seat. Throughout our lives, we believe many things, and we hold dear what we think is right and true. But at times there'll be others who disagree with us. What we believe to be 100% right, they believe the opposite just as strongly. We can become frustrated, we might grow distant, we may even sever relationships entirely. Slow down. Breathe. Step into the other person's shoes. Make all the difference.
Oh my gosh.
Watch as this professor explains.
Yeah, did y'all see it? I hope y'all saw that just now. This video going right on the rotation. Why they going right in the rotation? Because I try to say this all the time. I say this all the time. I'll tell y'all a quick story. So my brother was like, yo, you know, I can see life through other people's eyes. And I stopped to think about it for a second, what he said. Instead of being like, oh, nah. I stopped and I thought about it. And in me stopping and thinking about it, it was doing exactly, what's good, Chris? It was doing exactly what he said he was doing in the moment of saying, hey, I can see life through other people's eyes. We all have this capacity, and it usually comes in the form of like, strongest. It comes strongest in the form of like when you see people that you're close to having strong feelings, and you can feel what they're feeling, and you sometimes it's like you have to turn that off so that you can still be you. And that's a sign that we are all so connected that you got your perspective and I got my perspective. And that's the best thing ever because now we get to see the whole picture. That's good, right? You got your perspective and I got my perspective. And that's the best thing for both of us because we both get to see the whole picture. If we would, let's do an experiment. If we were to just write down a fact on a piece of paper and walk off, and we get 5 people in a room to write down 2 facts, right? That's 10 facts on a page, right? How many of those, out of those 5 people, are going to say that some of those facts are wrong? Now, if you take one person, they are going to say 8 facts. They could possibly say 8 facts are wrong because they're going to look at the paper and say, hey, my 2 facts are facts. These are facts. All right? But then you go around and you will say that at least the 8 out of 10 is going to say, they're going to say 8 out of 10 is not true at the maximum because they're going to say 2 of their facts are true until you sit down, you go over the whole list and you say, hey, what number of these are actual facts? And that's where we can literally say fact can be opinion or fact becomes opinion if it's enough of us or not enough of us to verify. Man, like they said in the experiment, if you didn't see the experiment, the ball was black and white. You just had to move around to be able to see it. All right, here we go. Let's keep on going. Let's get one more short. That short hit home.
I see you're wearing the Sunday joggers like I am today. How many pairs do you have of those?
These are the Sunday performance joggers of the already ones, and
Now, I used to go up to Mulholland Drive every night, sit on the side of the road, look out at the lights, and go, I'm a popular actor. Every director wants to work with me. And I used to, like, open my arms and imagine things, you know, things that I wanted to come in my way and stuff. I would stay up there until I actually believed that I had all these things. And then I would drive down the mountain feeling like the biggest star in Hollywood. I wrote a check out to myself for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I put it in my wallet and I carried it for that many years. And what happened was, basically, a few months ago, we did the deal for the mask for $10 million.
$10 million payments for doing the mask.
Right. Now, I used to go
Exactly. So, if y'all didn't get that, then now you do. All right, let's see depression. Because we at our 30-minute mark right now. So let's keep on going up. How to cure, oh, my man. Hey,
I'm
this
done
my
spending
boy.
an obscene amount of money on takeout every week. Done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor. Fresh, never frozen meals prepared by chefs. This saves us so much time when we're
Good morning, Hick. It's Tuesday. So I had kind of a low to mid-level nervous breakdown and took a break
Yeah,
from
he looked
the
like
internet.
he had put
but
on some weight. Hold on. How long ago? 9 months ago.
Now I am back. Good morning, Hick. It's Tuesday. So I had kind of a low to mid-level nervous
Hey, what's
breakdown
good,
and
Tria?
took a break from the
Hope you're
internet,
still in
but
here.
now I am back-ish and feeling better-ish. And this is a video about what has helped me through this fairly serious bout of depression. So for the first week or two, I was just getting a lot of counseling and trying to figure out a path forward. And then with the rest of my day, I would do something engrossing but not particularly demanding. In my case, making pottery, these little closed forms that I call secret keepers. The idea is that you whisper secrets or traumas or whatever into the bottom of these things, and then they hold the secret for you so you don't have to hold it by yourself. Does it work? Not really, but I promised them as Project Rawson Perks like 18 months ago and never finished them, but now I have finished them, so that's a relief. For me, making pottery feels productive enough to be meaningful, but it doesn't feel like pressure, which is perfect for me when I was in the absolute pits of depression. Exercise also helped, as did gardening. The second thing that's helped me a lot is my communities. Now, obviously, I am in an unusual position in that I get an amazing amount of support from Nerdfighteria, from this community, and I realize that's not replicable, although I am very, very grateful for it. But I found that once I asked for help, my other communities also really encouraged and supported me. Like, my real life friends offered to take me on bike rides or to go kayaking. One real life friend was like, hey, I've never really understood all the jobs that you do. If you want, you could explain it to me, and then maybe in that process we could look at your work-life balance and see if it's balanced. It wasn't. And other communities that are really important to me reached out as well, especially the AFC Wimbledon community. Like, one of the club's co-founders messaged me and said, look, when I've struggled with depression in the past, I really, like, existentially
that's
needed
right,
something
Tria.
to look forward to. So I put our new Away kit in the mail.
It's Healthy Mental Thursday, so you know we trying to find the cure. Just in case you missed it, you know the topic for today. So we finding the cure. We just going through, typing in find the cure for whatever, depression, anxiety, whatever you feeling at the moment.
To you, but it's going to take some time to get there, so you'll just have to wait for it. By the way, we got a new logo on the back of AFC Wimbledon's shorts in the liminal space between left thigh and buttock. It was made by Nerdfighter Jen Koch, and it's based on space mission patches, and I love it. I care about and be encouraged by the friendships. Helps. It helps to engage with the issues I care about and be Another thing that helps, helping helps. It helps to engage with the issues I care about and be encouraged by the friendships and connections that emerge from that work. Like right now, our friend in Sierra Leone, Henry Ryder, is trying to build a well in Freetown to address the water crisis there, and how awesome is that? So I donated to that and promised to help share it. By the way, link in the doobly-doo. And that helps, just like my work on TB has been a great source of solace and connection this past month. But probably what helped the most was meeting with my therapist and my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist was like, I think we need to shift your understanding of yourself and how it's informed by toxic online spaces. And nobody had ever quite said that to me before, but I needed to hear it. Some of the online spaces I engage in are pretty toxic.
Yeah.
When I swim all day in that water and I get out and I wonder why I feel sick, it's a little bit like the Olympians swimming in the Seine. Like, I think I might know why you get sick. Anyway, he was like, what are your core beliefs about humans? Like, really deep down, what's your core belief about yourself and other people? And I said what I think is true, which is that we are here to love and be loved, and the one thing we all deserve is to love and be loved.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you're sure not acting like that's your core belief about yourself. He says, when you talk to me, it sounds like your core belief about yourself is that you're kind of worthless, that you're sort of a piece of crap, and every piece of information you pick up on the internet that tells you you're a piece of crap, you think is true because it confirms.
I'm going back to meditation daily because this is what I did in my meditation. And you know what? I think it's been my propellant this entire time. It has to be, because I've been coasting off of the stuff I've spoken into my spirit and into my body in that meditative time. Because, wow, I've been kicking my ass. I've been kicking my own ass.
Your core belief. I really did believe that I was worthless. I think I said it in that last video I made. I believed that I was a piece of crap, which is a very strange thing to believe when human consciousness itself is so rare and precious and wonderful. Yes. So I've been working really hard on that, to embrace my belief that every human being, including me, deserves love and compassion and to be welcomed into the human fold with generosity and empathy. To me, the most important thing is that I'm not a piece of crap, and neither is anyone watching this. We're all human, flawed and constantly failing ourselves and others, but still worthy of love and compassion. I'm trying to make that my foundational belief these days. Hank, I'll see you on Friday.
That's my man's. All right, now let's see if we can get one more in here real quick. I know I got a way we can do this. Quotes to help depression. I should have put affirmations. I'm gonna put on some. Hold on, wait. Let's see what.
Imagine that because you don't have a mate and you don't have any friends and you don't have a job and you don't do anything productive with your time, etc., that you're kind of a loser. And what does that mean? It means compared to other people, you're not doing very well. Hyper-competent people have their lives together on all those fronts and they're thriving in all those domains. And you are at the bottom of the hierarchy where everything has fallen apart and you're barely clinging to the edge of the world. There's a mechanism that sets your perceived security and utility, a marker for that. The lower you are in the hierarchy, which is the more unstable your life is, the less serotonin your brain produces, and that makes you hypersensitive to negative emotion and suppresses positive emotion. And so true depression, which isn't having a terrible life, true depression would be a mismatch between your actual competence and your self-perceived competence. Imagine that because you don't have a mate and you don't have any friends and you don't have a job and you don't do anything productive with your time, etc., that you're kind of a loser. And what does that mean? It means compared to other people...
Hold up. Let's check this out real quick, and then we can go forward from here. Because that was key words right there. I got 7 minutes to spend.
Hello. We've been talking about perceived competence. And if you haven't watched the first video on perceived competence and what it is, go watch that video first and then drop.
We found it, y'all. That's going to fix everything.
Back here, because today we're going to be talking about one of the other audits that you need to be doing to make sure that you are being perceived as the competent expert person you are in your organization, so that you can get paid, you can get promoted, and you can
not her though. We ain't talking about just we not talking about just at work. All right, cool.
First impressions. You've got 7 seconds. That's it. That's how long it takes someone to decide if you're confident, competent, or even trustworthy. Not fair? It doesn't matter. That's how humans are wired. If you walk into a room slouched, shuffling, eyes down, people have already made up their mind about you and what kind of person you are. But if you walk in with your posture straight, calm steps, and your head up, you've just claimed the respect of everyone who noticed you, and you haven't even spoken a word. It's not about being fake. It's about being intentional. If you want to be taken seriously, look like someone who takes themselves seriously. Wear clothes that fit. Speak with intent. Make meaningful eye contact, because people evaluate your character first, then decide.
This was a bad choice of video, guys, because we got to go inward first. We have to go inward. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. So this was a bad choice of video, but this is one of the ways that you could spend all your day, night, and years and months like really pushing yourself down, beating yourself up, because you're going to align yourself with things that probably don't even feel right for you. Maybe you want the nose hairs, maybe you want to look raggedy with baggy clothes today, and then you're going to drive yourself away from that and make yourself feel worse. So this was a bad choice of video, but let me see something real quick. I'm pretty sure the shorts is going to give me what I'm looking for.
What we call self-esteem is actually obtained by establishing long-term functional reciprocal relationships. Because those are stable and reliable, that decreases negative emotion. And most self-esteem measures are primarily neuroticism, like there's extroversion in there, but it's primarily neuroticism reversed. Psychologists could do this. They could teach people that the best pathway to emotional self-regulation is through service to other people. That's a great deal for everybody. What we call self-esteem.
If you are someone that deals with a crippling sense of insufficiency, your ability to discount any good thoughts you have in your mind is going to be so strong. If you try and lead with positivity first, I need to think it, wish it, believe it, and I will achieve it, your set point of negativity is going to just crush that into the ground. I'm speaking from personal experience, right? As the guy that was chronically unconfident and still has the imposter syndrome that does creep in. You have to start with action. It needs to be, okay, what would have had to have happened in a week's time for me to look back on that week and find pride in myself. Stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m. and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action, right? You want to leave your job and become a writer. Okay, can you commit to writing one blog post on Substack per week for the next 3 weeks? That would make you feel like less of a loser if you did that. Action has to come first.
Good job. That's my man. Look at one more.
If we believe that
Hey,
we
she
have a
came
right
back.
to speak up, the chances are our vocal tract, our throat particularly, will be relaxed and open, which allows for this deeper, richer sounding voice. And when we put those things together, the body language and the voice, our perceived competence increases. When we increase what's going on with our body language, we allow that everything to relax, and we have a good tone of voice that sounds embodied, like it's coming out of our body, with what we're saying, then that message is so much easier for our audience to absorb, because all three things are congruent, all three things are matching up and supporting the content. This is one of the reasons why, people say to me, oh, I've done presentation skills training before, it didn't work. This is why.
That's like me. I be sitting here. I know what I'm thinking, and it's just about delivering it to you. It's not about how confident or how knowledgeable. It's just about delivery, and I don't want you to perceive it wrong. I don't want you to. So I'm constantly flipping, switching, and picking my words in my mind, but that may lower my competence, whatever it is, perceived competence, but within. Very, 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 very high. So let's listen to some quotes real quick. Get y'all feeling right before I kick y'all on up out of here for the day and I go back to playing the game. So, affirmations for mental health. Oh, no, for healthy mental health. That's funny. All right, let's see what they got.
This woman is the greatest teacher on manifestation
And I'm not reading them
If you'd love an easy way.
So they better have somebody reading them.
Hello, my love.
What's up, girl?
Welcome to Guided Affirmations by Lavender. Today's affirmations will help you cultivate a healthy body, mind, and spirit for greater overall well-being.
Yo,
Listen to
what's
this
good,
audio
APOC
every
Monk?
day for 21 days,
Thanks for stopping
integrating it
through.
into your daily routine.
You caught us at the
As you
end.
repeat
Get you
these
some of these
affirmations,
affirmations, bruh.
envision a radiant light flowing through every cell of your body, nourishing you with healing, vibrant energy. Know that you have the power to shape your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's begin.
Let's go.
I am healthy. I am healthy. I am vibrant.
Yes.
I am vibrant.
Yes, it's very good, man. I'm glad we doing this at the end
I
of it,
am
though.
whole.
Get us balanced
I am whole.
for the weekend. I hope you'll join in.
I trust in my body's natural healing power. I trust in my body's natural healing power. I embrace healing. I embrace healing. I am recovering and regaining my energy. I am recovering and regaining my energy.
Yeah, I know, right? Nice and
I am healing well. I am healing well.
yeah, I do this once a day. Just
I am getting stronger each day.
a show of teaching.
I am getting stronger each day.
My way to give back to the community. I played a game for 12
My
hours.
body is filled with positive energy.
Do
My
this for 1
body is filled with positive energy. I am nourishing my body in every way. I am nourishing my body in every way. I honor my body with what it needs.
Appreciate you, Monk.
I honor my body with what it needs.
I'll be on the game in a little bit. Check me out. Thanks for stopping through.
I feel good in my body. I feel good in my body. I feel healthy in my body. I feel healthy in my body. I feel vibrant and alive in my body. I feel vibrant and alive in my body. I am healthy and whole. I am healthy and whole. I am balanced. I am balanced. I am resilient. I am resilient. I am strong. I am strong.
Get another 30 seconds of this, y'all.
I am at peace. I am at peace.
Last one, last one.
I am thriving.
Yes, Lord. Look at him.
I am thriving.
I am thriving. All right, y'all. So I hope that your mental health has been cured. I hope you found some cures. Gratitude is a big thing. Also, just to recap for us, also changing your thoughts is easier said than done, but it is the way, and this discomfort shows you or is a pointer towards what is going to help you in the long run. Also, affirmations, just sitting and listening to somebody else or getting a therapist or like we said, if you have someone to help guide you, and we're not talking about judging them and saying that, hey, they may not know what they talking about, so we're not going to go to them. When you need help, we all live here. And that person may have what you're looking for. But if you never go to them, you'll never find what you're looking for. So it's okay to have people to talk to just about what's going on in here. Because it gets overwhelming sometimes. And even your hard drives fill up and you need to do a little dump or you need to delete some stuff. So it's good. It's good. So this has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man, here on Healthy Mental, or wherever it's at. Yeah, Healthy Mental Thursday. I hope y'all found some cures, found some things in here that was useful for yourself on your day-to-day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow on Fun Friday as usual. This is DGTA TV. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and listen to a little bit as I say peace. If you saw a video that you like on here and you want to get and watch it again on your own free time, or you want to get some sort of information, a piece of information that you didn't get at the moment while watching, just go check out the actual YouTube channel, DGTA_TV, and hit playlist up at the top, and you'll see Knowledge of Expansion Pack on there. All right, so let's get an example of an ikigai. Well, we don't need no more examples of it. We pretty much got it. All right. So, what about... Oh, man, he gonna score. Let's see. Options of work. Just in case y'all looking.
Not sure what career you want to pursue? No worries. I've got 8 quick ways to help you explore your options and find the right path for you. Let's dive into it. Did you know that the average person changes their careers at least twice in their life? Check it out. If you think of careers as stepping stones to where you want to be, you'll stay open to exploring new interests and talents throughout it. The key is to stay curious and stay focused on your goals. Just because you start out as an accountant doesn't mean you can't try other careers, like social media strategist, writer, chef, nurse, or filmmaker. When it comes to careers, nothing is permanent. Building a successful career is all about having a plan and working.
Hey, hold on. This wing teenagers. There we go.
Welcome to our video on the options available for working after 65 years old. As people are living longer and healthier lives, more and more individuals are choosing to work beyond the traditional retirement age of 65.
65.
In this video, we will explore the different types of work that are available for older individuals, including part-time work, consulting, entrepreneurship, volunteering, government employment, and working from home. As discussed in the video, there are several options for those looking to continue working after 65, including part-time work. This can...
Man, they messing us up today. These videos whack. All right. Let me see. Content creators over 50 or 40 is good. Hey, y'all watch a couple minutes of this. Why people over 40 have to start a YouTube channel.
Say hello to Taylor Brands. Just go to their site, enter your LLC state, choose your business name, answer a few questions, and...
He gonna tell y'all.
Hey guys. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from me if you've been here before. If you're new, then welcome. Nice to meet you. So yeah, today's video is going to be different than before. I want this to be a little more real, a lot less edited, and just me having a conversation with you. No teleprompter. I do have a few notes here written on my phone, so I will be referring to those. And maybe that's one thing that's stopping you from to make a video like this. And maybe that's one thing that's stopping you from starting your own YouTube channel. And that's kind of the topic for today. I think today is the perfect time for you to start a YouTube channel. People think or you may have heard that, you know, YouTube's been around a long time. Lots of people have been making money on YouTube for years now. Surely there can be no more room for anybody new.
Right.
I'm here to tell you that that's wrong. I think today is the perfect time to start, especially if you are over 40 years old like I am. And the reason I say that is because if you're over 40, then you've got life experiences more so than the younger generations, right? And you can take those and run with them, right? You can use them to your advantage. So if you think that the younger generation is the generation that uses YouTube the most, you may be right as far as consuming on YouTube. So the younger generations, and I'm talking about teens into your 20s, maybe even 30s, do spend a lot of time on social media, whether it's YouTube or watching Instagram Reels or TikTok.